Hi, welcome to the Aquarius new moon video, and this Aquarian new moon is quite intense and can be a lot of fun. Part of it might be a little bit annoying depending on your personal chart, but it always means connecting. It always means finding a place where you feel you're connected, where you feel you belong. And so this time frame, you can take out a couple of minutes just to review your life to a certain degree of how deep do I feel connected, and where do I feel connected? Where do I belong? That is a vibration that's sort of showering down on us to remind us to reconnect. So sometimes what can come up is, oh, I don't know if I belong here, or I don't know if I want to belong here. But what comes up around this is like, well, if not there, where do I want to be? Where do I want to connect? And it's also about trying something different, trying something new. It doesn't mean that you have to be with a group of people or be in a particular place that feels super cozy, like, oh, it's so familiar to me that it's, second nature. It's not that, but it's to be in a place where you go, it might be quirky, it might be interesting, maybe these people don't think the way I think, but something about it I kind of like. It kind of inspires me to get outside of my shell and try something different. It doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to plan a vacation for the other side of the planet to some remote village, although that could be a really cool thing to plan or do under this Aquarian new moon. It can be going to a different club, going to a different restaurant, going to a different coffee shop or something, and it's like, oh yeah, this is different. Stretching outside of your boundaries of where you feel comfortable. Now, this particular Aquarian new moon, it's connected deeply with Mars in Scorpio at a degree in the sky that's very, very vocal. So it can represent discussions, fiery, intense discussions. Sometimes it can even be argumentative, but Mars is squaring this energy. So the square sign is this push, get going, do something, get off the couch, get off your normal routine, try something else. Now Aquarius is a fixed sign, so the energy of Aquarius is like, you're not going to tell me what to think. You're not going to tell me what to do. I have my own mind, which is good. But the Aquarian essence is about being open-minded and exploring new ways, like leapfrogging into the future, of thinking about solutions for the future. Like going into the future and finding a solution that hasn't been invented yet and bringing it back to the present so you can go, okay, done. And so it's fixed, and it's not about being compliant, absolutely not about being compliant, but it is about taking in information, finding information, and then being able to be really sure within yourself that you have all the facts, you have everything that inside. It's like, okay, this is what I want to do, this is how I think, this is where I belong, and it feels right for me, even if it is outside of what other people expect or the quote-unquote norm, whatever that means. And so this Mars energy is confronting, it's confrontational, to get outside of the comfort zone, to explore more. Now also, Mars happens to be the strongest planet in the sky at this new moon, because it's in the sign that it rules, Scorpio. So a lot can get done. Mars also is the motivation planet. Yes, it's the warrior, contentious at times, but sometimes, have you ever experienced almost like a need to get mad at something mad at yourself, mad at a circumstance, mad enough to change, frustrated enough to change, that's what this energy can be about. So look around in your life. What if I, allow myself to be real with where I might be frustrated, that I haven't made some changes, that I've become too complacent, and use that energy as a source of motivation to break out and to do something different. Now, we also have this very beautiful energy between Jupiter and Venus. Now, here's the scoop. The new moon is at 19 degrees of Aquarius. Okay? So keep that number in mind, 19 degrees. Venus is at 19 degrees of Capricorn, 30 degrees away. Well, that 30 degree away mark is at the same, it's vibrating at the same number. But it's 30 degrees away, so it's not like a super in-your-face feeling of Venus. But that sense is like, where's my Venus? I know she's here somewhere. But I could just, where are you, Venus? Where are you? And what is that Venus? Like, where's my love? Where are the things I love? Where's my money? Where's the things that I really value? I know it's here. It's like that concept. I just can feel it. I know it. But you're not really in front of me. You're not, I can feel you, but you're in a little bit of that blind spot. A little bit of that blind spot. I know you're there. I can sense it. And that's another part of this energy this month, is sensing and feeling. Being able to use your intuition to feel what is real for you. What that sense of that life that you know is possible, that's real for you. Use your intuition for what you love, what's most dear to you. And then that motivating force of Mars to get it going. Now, Venus at 19 degrees of Capricorn is trine Jupiter in Virgo, conjunct the North Node. Now, Jupiter in Virgo, there's a quote by Edison that explains Jupiter in Virgo very well. It goes something like this. Opportunity is often missed because it's disguised as work in overalls. That's Jupiter is opportunity. Virgo is roll up your sleeves and get to work. So, and it's conjunct the North Node about pulling us to something that can be what you really want in your future. But it can be disguised as, a little bit mundane, a little bit hard work, but it's opportunity there. And with that Venus trine the Jupiter, that vibe, there's a subtle energy, and it will demand your intuition, listening to your intuition of what ideas that new moon in Aquarius can bring you to make the changes, to get things moving, that Mars square, that to propel that in your future. And also, this can be a time where you may feel, then this will be especially true if you are born around February 7th, February 8th, May 7th, August 7th, or November 7th. You may feel the frustration of that Mars more so than others, although that vibe is here in the new moon. We also have Mercury, which is still in Capricorn, and it's called the node, planetary node of Saturn. It's still on a particular vibration rate that's in the sky of being very serious. So there's still some serious thinking going on, but again, it's connected to this trine with Jupiter. Serious thinking towards Jupiter, where's my opportunity, and what's the opportunity that is here for me. So in a nutshell, this particular new moon is saying, 1, connect. Find where you connect. Reach outside of your comfort zone to do something different, to do something exciting, to try something new, examine what would bring you that, what would bring you an experience of a different life. Examine where you feel you belong and where you feel that, I don't fit in anymore. Reconnect with friends, reconnect with, or that you choose not to fit in. I've outgrown this. I moved beyond that. So think about in terms of that. And then also feel continue to develop your intuition. And this goes even stronger as we're moving to the next month of Pisces. Continue to develop your intuition and that feeling, that sense of that inner gut knowing of what is around the corner for me. That sense of I know it's there. I'm just not quite sure how to manifest it. But trust. And here's another very strong key word for this air fixed sign is trust. Trust that inner knowing that as long as you take action, as long as you take steps and continue to keep an open mind and to new ideas, Aquarius, that which you feel is possible can step into place and can fall into place for you. Now, there is one energy of this new moon that is quite interesting because it includes an asteroid that represents the female archetype of being frustrated, of being angry even, of being shut out in some way. And how you may see it manifest in terms of the world news and events can be that you see, I want to say, women standing up for their power, standing up for I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm not going to be abused. I'm not going to be used. I want to be listened to. And if you have circumstances in your life where you feel that you've been diminished, you've been ostracized, you've been patronized, then this particular new moon can bring up those feelings once again, where that opportunity to connect with, okay, where do I speak your truth? One, speak your truth, be vocal, but be vocal in such a way that it creates movement for the higher and the greatest good, which ultimately that Aquarian, let's figure out what's best for humanity. Let's figure out what is best for all in our own admiring, acknowledging, respecting our own each unique individuality, and still being able to move forward as a collective humanity towards what is on the highest and greatest good for all. So thank you very much for tuning in to the Aquarius new moon, and please subscribe. And you may want to check out your current video that I have listed.